First tonight, the National Security Minister is touting the benefits of a new multi-million-dollar facility. This one is set to include a mental health cell. Plus, the Economic Affairs Minister shares just how the government plans to meet its debt target. And then later, decades of dedication to the next generation. Our Italia Hall has the story of Hoops and Dreams, a boys' mentoring program over in Grand Bahama. These stories and so much more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. National Security Minister Wayne Monroe touting the benefits of a new multi-million-dollar facility that's on the way. Earlier this week, a cabinet approved the construction of a brand new prison. Prison Commissioner Don Clare giving Our News an exclusive look at the model of one of the cells. He says it's time to change the culture from punishment to rehabilitation. Monroe says the facilities provided in this new prison will do just that.
It will be what we call high-medium security prison. It will have a section that will deal with medium security prisoners, maximum security prison, and it will have for the first time a super maximum security section. We've all heard about murders being ordered from the current prison. Well, we need a facility there that will really house people who are particularly dangerous. It will also include a mental health cell, because you've heard about persons being injured and killed in the prison who are mentally challenged.
There's been back and forth on the cost of the new prison. At last report, the cost to construct the new prison had been slashed by approximately $40 million after officials from the Ministry of Finance said the previous $90 million price tag was too high. Monroe explains why.
When the first iteration came out, that was a wagon wheel prison. It didn't have a mental facility, it didn't have a clinic, it didn't have a medical facility, and it definitely didn't have a supermax facility. As these elements are added, they have to be priced. An additional element that has been imposed by government policy is you have to have renewables. You have to have solar incorporated in every government building. That will come at a cost.
Meantime, Commodore of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Dr. Raymond King, provided an update on developments surrounding the $200 million Sandy Bottom project, which was initially completed several years ago. Dr. King providing the information to Our News last week during the 50th anniversary of the Bahamas Development Bank. He explains that while the project's full scope was not realized at the time, key components such as structural developments and base constructions were removed to ensure Bahamian contractors could participate instead of outsourcing the work.
Of course, we would have presented a comprehensive infrastructure development program for our bases throughout the Bahamas, and we're looking at systematically implementing and building out each successive budget year. But we've also sought out, and we would have entertained some prospective private-public partners in terms of raising funding and being a partner with the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and the government by extension in assisting us with the build-out of our infrastructure development that would have been done under the Sandy Bottom project if it had maintained the initial plan several years ago.
When asked if the project was put on pause, Dr. King said no.
But it's a matter of us prioritizing which islands, which bases to build out, working within the financial realities, the macro financial realities of the Bahamas, and working within those constraints, but building out in a systematic way, and so we can broaden our strategic posture throughout the length and breadth of the Bahamas.
Economic Affairs Minister Michael Halkitis is calling that IMF report recommending a value-added tax increase nothing more than a suggestion. The report suggested the government increase taxes, cut spending, and introduce a personal income tax for top earners. The IMF said the measures would help the government meet its debt target of 50% GDP by fiscal year 2031. But Halkitis says the government has another plan to meet that target.
What we decided to do is we'd grow the economy, improve the revenue administration, reduce costs or contain costs, and find new sources of revenue. What they said was their suggestion was increase taxes and cut spending and those sorts of things. We listened to them and we said, okay, we hear you, but this is our plan because, we need to be able to right our ship, so to speak, without harming our people.
The Prime Minister has also said the measures are not on the table for the government. Halkitis adds that if the government continues down this path, they will meet their target.
We believe that if we continue to grow the economy, if we continue to do a better job of collecting taxes that are due, and if we continue to find savings like we're doing here today, find new sources of revenue. We recently passed the 15% global tax on multinational entities. We just passed that in the Parliament. And so in coming years, we expect to get some revenue from that. That's a new source of revenue. So we think that we can manage without putting more taxes on the people.
Social media has been buzzing with the news that Amazon has recently partnered with DHL to bring Amazon packages direct to your door. While some have expressed concern over the new power partnership coming into the market, Chairman of the Consumer Protection Commission, Randy Rolls, says it could provide an opportunity for local shipping companies to get more creative with their services, considering the frequency of complaints coming into the commission.
Several weeks ago, we talked about the amount of complaints that we had and where they fall in terms of line. Shipping companies were number one as it relates to complaints. And so there's been a lot of conversation and communication around that. So, what my unit decided to do was to dig more deep in it. And so we dedicated the month of October to diving more into what are some of the complaints, how are we able to mitigate towards it, what are some of the questions or concerns that consumers want answered and clarity on. And so that has been a goal of ours for the month of October. Even though we're in November now, we're pleased that this latest thing has even sparked more communication from consumers.
The Consumer Protection Commission chairman says anything good for the consumer is music to their ears.
It gives much other businesses an opportunity to kind of, think outside the box. Okay, if it's going to be competition, what can I do to make sure that I keep the customers I have? Bahamians want service. You work hard, you have your hard-earned money. You want to make sure that you get service in return for it. And here at Consumer Protection, we just simply want to make sure that the consumers are first and they get best buck for their money.
The Rosewood Exuma project expected to bring about major change for Keys throughout the Exuma chain, particularly for the nearly 400 residents on Black Point. Residents there expressing their support for the project, citing the fact that tourism is their #1 industry. They say this project will help highlight the Exuma Keys internationally, drawing in more business and opportunities.
We have a lot of young men around here who are boat captains, and majority of them into tourism. So for this project, with Felipe and the group bringing around, I think it's to be a positive vibe for a lot of the captains and boat owners.
You ain't gonna find nobody on this rock say no to this. You're gonna have a big 150 yes. I think it's a excellent idea. Whoever the guys is gonna do the job. Yeah, you got people from A to B to C. I mean, all over the Bahamas looking for jobs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the people getting ready to develop and put something there for you to do. Let it rip. Let it go, man. Yeah, I don't see why not. And then, like you said, Rosewood, that's right here. It's done here, and it'll be Rosewood Exuma now, which is good.
Principal of Black Point Comprehensive School, Ethnic Roll, along with the 2 of her students, are also anticipating opportunities for future generations.
It would also provide, job readiness programs for our kids, workshops, and potentially scholarships for them.
I think it's a very good project for the island, and also will help with island development, also with the school, such as scholarships or anything the school needs. And it will also help the children to do fun activities and just be more exposed to different stuff.
And then it could also provide multiple things like scholarships and etc. for those who plan to pursue their goals and accomplishment they want to achieve somewhere else.
Construction worker Delgado Roll shares why he supports the project.
We have about hundreds of people from this community of Black Point, and the government alone cannot do it. And if we get this project to kick off and to start, it could take some screen off the government, and also it could help boost our economy.
And to those opposing the project due to environmental concerns,
what are they planning on doing for the people if they don't approve this? What are they planning on doing to keep these people busy?
And Exuma had concern too, like Bella Island and different islands, and they approve it. So I can't see why they won't approve Samson Key, because we could have so many people employed. Like, we have a lot of people who lives in Nassau who is descended from Black Point, like young kids, boys, girls. They come back home, get a nice job, a nice paying job, and they be relaxed and comfortable in their home instead of everyone being parked in Nassau.
Once ecosystems are damaged, there are ways to repair them. Mind you, we're not saying that damage to the ecosystem doesn't have an effect, but we have to remember that these projects that we are trying to initiate, especially the people that I'm working with, it supersedes certain things. And I think it's more beneficial for the country, for the people that work here and live here, than what's being protested against it.
when our News Weekend comes back from the break, the Grand Bahama Port Authority committed to improvements. The city manager shares what's next for roadworks in the second city. Plus, Bonnie Baston and her boys. The founder of Hoops and Dreams shares her passion for mentoring young men. That's coming up when our News Weekend returns.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Welcome back to our News Weekend. Road repair continues to be a top priority for the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Last year, the GBPA embarked on a massive road repair project. Now, the Grand Bahama Highway is the final stretch to be paved. A 1-mile section is expected to be completed soon. Deputy Manager of the City Management Department, Troy McIntosh, explains the process for determining which roads are prioritized for paving.
We look at reading our roads for not only what you feel in terms of riding, so that's called rideability. So that's one element. The second thing that I do is I look at the surface of the road, which is whether it's cracking or whether it's beginning to produce potholes. And so once the road is assessed, it's graded, a 1, 2, or 3. And so we do that, and we have a list of roads which we have known for the last 10 years that needs to be resurfaced. Every year we check them because it goes from a 1 maybe to a 2 to a 3. And so those are then scheduled based on priority.
Over the next 3 years, the focus will shift to subdivision roads. However, some residents have raised concerns about roads in private subdivisions. McIntosh clarifies that maintaining and resurfacing roads in these areas is the responsibility of the developer, not the Port Authority. But can the Port Authority enforce developers to act? According to McIntosh, the answer depends on the circumstances.
One of the issues may be finding the developer and having them respond. And so short of that, what I've known some residents to do is they stop paying and force the developer to either comply or maintain the subdivision. There's one such case is happening right now. And so there are times when we reach out to the developer and say, we've gotten these complaints, provide us a response. We go back and forth. The issue is having the teeth to do it. And so one of the missing elements is we don't have the teeth to really deal with some of these issues.
Still in the nation's second city, where we highlight a woman whose dedication to the nation's youth has made a significant impact on the lives of countless young men through the game of basketball and other sporting disciplines. Italia Hall reports.
House of Hoops and Dreams, that's the name of the boys' mentoring organization led by Bonnie Sounds Baston. Her face and voice are familiar to many, as she's been at the forefront of mentoring young men across the country through sports for decades. Baston says the journey began in 1999 when she took in 2 young men who came to Grand Bahama for school but had no place to stay. Since then, she has housed over 150 young men.
Basically, they come here from different islands throughout the Bahamas, and I help them with homework. I help them get prepared for college. I help them with when it comes to whatever sport. It's not just basketball, it's track and field, volleyball, baseball, and even of recently, music.
The program also emphasizes discipline and structure.
The boys have to maintain a 2.0 GPA. They have to do their own chores, such as, cleaning the dishes. They have to wash their own clothes, hang them out on the line, fold them up.
Out of the more than 150 young men who have passed through the program, Sands Baston proudly shares that 40 of them have earned scholarships. But in 2019, things took a turn as Sands Baston was diagnosed with interstitial lung disease, which she says has slowed her down but has not stopped her. As she says, her greatest accomplishment lies in the success stories of these young men.
I reminisce so many times and look back at young boys that were here, and they are entrepreneurs. They have their own businesses. They're so ambitious. Some of them, gave their life to Christ.
Sands Baston continues her mission and currently houses 6 young men, some of them sharing their experiences of living under her care and guidance.
I grew up in Foxhill, single parent, me and my mommy. When I first come here, I was scared, but being the guys, they showed me the ropes, what to do from what not to do, what to say from what not to say. Miss B is a woman of God, and coming from where I come from, I never used to attend church like that. So waking up 8 o'clock in the morning to go to church every Sunday, at first it was stressful, but then now me getting close to God.
So coming there was like more exposure, more experience, making me more mature, becoming more man.
My brother used to go here. And then ever since he going, he wanted to come here bad. And then I just keep on asking me on me. And then she said she gonna talk to Miss B, and then Miss B accept me to come.
It's been amazing. It's been fun living here. It's been great coming from a different city and moving to Freeport to give me more exposure.
As we can see, Bonnie Sands Baston's unwavering commitment has created a legacy of hope and opportunity for young men, one life at a time. Reporting for Our News, I'm Natalia Hall.
We'll recap Saturday's hoops action next on Our Sports Weekend.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Good evening, happy Sunday. Welcome to Our Sports Weekend. I'm Tej Adderley. It's been a busy weekend for Bahamian Hoopers. We're going to see what they got up to. Buddy Hield and his Golden State Warriors looked like they would coast to a win against the San Antonio Spurs, leading by double digits for most of the game, but they still lost 104-94. Buddy had 11 points on 4 of 9 shooting, along with 4 assists off the bench. Victor Wembanyama had 25 to lead the Spurs. In college, Donnie Freeman and Syracuse lost to Texas Tech on Friday night, 79-74. He struggled offensively with 5 points, but he pulled down 13 rebounds. Now, Coach Yo and the Mississippi Rebels will take the court at Bahamas tomorrow. You definitely want to go see them. If you can't, that's okay. It's going to be all over our social media pages. Now we're going to the Gridiron, where Bahamian is headed to his conference championship after a gritty win. Prince John and the Boise State Broncos got a hard-fought 17-13 win over the Wyoming Cowboys last night away from their blue turf. Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty broke the 2,000-yard barrier, going for 169 yards and a score on 19 carries. Despite being 2-8 coming into the game, Wyoming's defense was able to muddy up the game and corral Boise State's explosive offense. Prince Strawn's only catch was a clutch 14-yarder coming in Boise State's final scoring drive to give the team the win. Alabama lost last night, so this win puts Boise firmly in line for a playoff slot. They'll have Oregon State next week, then they're in their conference championships. That is a wrap for sports this evening. For Our Sports Weekend, I'm Tage Adderley. Let's make this week a great one.
Thanks so much, Tage. Well, on the other side of this break, meteorologist Ian McKenzie joins us from the Weather Center with a check on temperatures. Stick with us.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Welcome back, and thanks for sticking with us. Meteorologist Ian McKenzie is standing by with a look at temperatures over the coming week. Ian.
Thanks, Megan, and good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to your Sunday evening forecast. Weather conditions pretty stable. Currently outside our studios, we're under mostly fair skies with a temperature of 73. Winds are from the east-northeast at 10 miles per hour. Comfortable, feels like temperature a tad bit high at 75. Temperatures across the country slightly warmer than last night. Freeport, we have 69. Marsh Harbor, 72. 73s in Great Harbor, Capital, and in Nicholstown. 72 in Allenstown. 75 in Governors Harbor. Central Bahamas, 73 in Camps Bay. 74s in Arthurstown and Coburn Town, San Salvador. 75 in Georgetown and 77 in Deadman's Key, Long Island. Southeast Bahamas, we have 80 in Duncantown. 78s in Matthewtown, Delectable Bay, Abrahams Bay, and in Providenciales. And 77 in Colonel Hill. Satellite imagery right now, we have a broad area of high pressure that's dominating our conditions across the northwest and central islands. However, we still have that cold front in the vicinity of the southeast Bahamas producing some cloudiness. This should also be the area with most unsettled weather, as we expect an upper level trough to enhance activity across that area and even possibly a development of a low pressure system by about mid to late week. Boating forecasts more on the mild side, northwest Bahamas, winds northeast east 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet. Low tide at 9:10 p.m. tonight, high tide at 3:25 a.m. tomorrow morning. In central and southeast Bahamas, we have a caution out there, winds easterly 15 to 20, seas 4 to 7 feet. Also rip currents out there on the eastern shorelines for you swimmers. And in your extended forecast, fair conditions pretty much throughout most of the week. Mild temperatures only in the low 80s. We do expect another cold front to push through the area by Friday into early Saturday morning. That should dip temperatures down a bit into the low 80s, possibly even the 70s. Daytime high, which lows getting back into the 60s. That's a rapid evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun night, everyone.
Thanks so much, Ian. Well, while many schools are gearing up for this year's Junior Junkanoo season, awards for this year's parade, held in January, were given out just this week. Excited cheers filled the room as 101 Preschool took the overall preschool win, and Woodcock Primary took home the overall trophy for the primary school division. CV Bethel were the overall winners of the senior division, and it's not their first time. They also won the senior division of the 2023 Junior Junkanoo Parade. Their Junior Junkanoo coordinator spoke to us on the sidelines about the growing importance of culture in the school.
Right now, we are trying to get the school in the gear of being cultural, giving back to the heritage of course, what we all know. And Junkanoo, of course, is one of them. So we are trying our endeavor best every year to get them into Junior Junkanoo.
And the parents, the PTA, the teachers, the students, being there at school late at night in the shop pasting. It was indeed a team effort, and we saw the team results here for CV Bethel Senior High School.
Another familiar name taking the overall trophy for the all-age schools category, the Lifer Key International School. Music teacher and Junkanoo coordinator Elizabeth Taylor says culture plays a big part at the school.
Lifer Key has been participating in Junior Junkanoo since, I believe, 2012, and this is our 5th year winning. We took a break after the 2020 Junkanoo Parade where we won that one. Then COVID came, and so this is our first time back since then. But we are no stranger to winning. We work hard. It's a part of our curriculum. We teach our students the history of Junkanoo, what pasting is. We have a vibrant parent community that loves pasting. They come from Switzerland, they come from New York, but they want to know more about our culture.
Congratulations to the winners and good luck in the upcoming season. Well, thank you so much for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a safe and wonderful evening. Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.